So when God looks at you and he sees you as a child, he is going to distribute to you the full measure of anointing. Full measure of anointing. I know, here's what you're going to say. That jacket doesn't fit. You're right. It fits my destiny. It fits my growth. See, here's what God says to David. He says about David at 13 years old, oh, my coat for you, my anointing for you is you're to be the king of Israel. He's 13. And this is the frustration when dealing with God. Because when God anoints you, he anoints you based on your destiny, not based on the time of your life. Is this making sense? So here's what happens. So God calls Joseph. And Joseph is walking around. It's clumsy, the anointing on his life. Does that make sense? It's clumsy. It doesn't fit. He doesn't know what to do with it. David is clumsy. He doesn't know what to do with it. Most people in ministry, when they assess potential leaders, they look at the clumsiness, but they don't look at the destiny. So here's what God has for you. He says, I've given to you everything. I'm just waiting for you to grow into your anointing. Let me say that again. I'm going to give you this jacket because I'm not going to have to distribute more anointing later. You have it, and here's how the jacket works for your anointing. When you begin to fill it out, it's going to start to fit. It's going to start to fit. It's going to start to get a little snugger. And all of a sudden, the clumsiness of the early days, you look at any prophet in the Bible, you look at any man or woman of God, in their early days of being called, they're clumsy. Is this making sense? Yeah. So Pastor John looks foolish today. Well, yeah, because I'm wearing an anointing size for my entire life, not size for this year. Is that, you good with that? Here's the other thing. The enemy fights you based on the size of your jacket, not on the age of your maturity. What? Oh, yeah. So the adversary looks at me, sees the jacket, and says, holy crap. In fact, the adversary is a better assessor of your anointing than sometimes the church is. Are you with me? So we look and we don't see what God sees, but the enemy looks and says, that person's a deliverer. That person's going to change the world upside down. Did you see the size of jacket that's on that person? Did you see the size of anointing that's on that person? We see a 12-year-old. God sees a giant killer. Does that make sense?